Gotta have
You're
my
cold.
headphones
I'm
on.
colder.
I was cold first.
Hello and good morning. We haven't started yet. We're letting the feed catch up. So,
Good morning! Why are you like rock and rolling in the... Can you scooch back?
I don't know
one
because it's
inch?
funny. Because I think it's funny. Hey, Zodaney.
Zodani?
Zodaney. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but good morning nonetheless.
Oh, it's Zodania.
What's up, my friend?
Okay, check. Check. Are we ready?
Nope, we're gonna let the feed catch up for 1 second. I always wonder why you can see people on Facebook watching, but it doesn't say who they are.
Yeah.
You are. Oh, good, Zodani. That's cool. Good. See, there's 3 people, 4 people. Huh, that's interesting.
Don't worry
Okay,
about it. Don't get
I'm just,
onto that.
Hey, what's up, Ben? How's Texas, my friend? Hope it's good. Okay. Hey, Ben, really quickly. Melanie won't know what I'm talking about. Glock or Ruger?
Guns, doy. I won't know what he's talking about.
Okay. Combo of Zoe and Danielle. Oh, I like that. Zoe
Oh,
Danielle.
that's cute.
Okay.
Our old pastor used to call us meth and cell.
Oh yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
That is funny. Okay.
What up, kids?
Okay, let's jump into this. Ready?
Okay.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, my friends? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Welcome to today's episode of AOM Radio, aka Marriage Mornings for AOM. And every day we do 4 things.
Yes, we do. If you're new here, welcome. We are live on Instagram and Facebook right now, so we are interacting with our audience. But we do our 4 things every day. We do our 4 things every day. We do a prayer, a gratitude, an intention, and then we talk about our question of the day. So we highly encourage you to do these with your spouse. Y'all, this is a marriage show. If you're not married yet, do it with your person you're dating or do it with yourself.
That's right.
It's important. It's
Pray for yourself. Okay.
Do it.
All right. Thank you, God, for your blessings. Thank you for the sun this morning. Obviously, I like the sun, so thank you for that and the feelings it brings. Thank you for the life that it brings. Thank you for this show. I pray that it's helpful to people that listen and also to me and Melanie and our children as well. Thank you for the blessings that we have received from this. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Good prayer.
That's right. What's up, Joy? What's up, Brian? Okay. You know what I'm thankful for? And this is a small thing, but it's sincere. I am thankful that you enjoy training the dog. I enjoy it. I think it's just cute. It's like, oh, a girl and her dog.
I got the dog to learn to shake this morning. It was the sweetest thing ever.
You've been practicing it, and I was just watching you this morning, and it's cute, and I like it, and I thank you for it.
I don't think I've ever had such a smart dog, so I'm so excited, but I'm glad that you enjoy it. It was a joy to my soul.
There you go.
When old Doug shook my hand this morning, he greeted me. I am thankful for you that you, there's 2 things. This is going to sound super weird. You don't care that I'm not super girly. Like, I washed my hair. Yeah, I mean, you might have seen this. I washed my hair with egg yolks the other day. Last night, I washed it with baking soda water and apple cider vinegar. And Seth never, ever says anything like, you smell like apple cider vinegar, that's gross. Or you're putting eggs in your hair, you're gross. He never, ever says anything about it. And if I stink, you never say anything about it.
Well,
like if I have armpit smells.
Criticism doesn't bring connection, so
you're just saying you're not saying anything just because you don't want to.
Well,
I thought it was so cute, and now you're.
No. I see the value in not saying things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And maybe that's a number 9 in me. That's why I get really kind of offended when you say stuff about stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Say stuff about stuff all the time.
Yeah. So good. Okay. So my intention today is to show up and to do the AOM daily thing, and because I know that when I am self-disciplined, that benefits me and other people, and literally it's an intention thing that if I get down and go, oh, I don't want to wake up at 5:30, I don't want to take a cold shower, I don't want to run, it's like, well, do it. That benefits you and other people, right?
Yes, I like it. I like that you do AOM daily. I'm thankful for that. Again, we are encouraging you guys, do this with your spouse. Like, talk about the things you're thankful for, pray together, do your intentions. My intention for today is, again, the same thing of like, get out there and do the things put into action the stuff I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm learning about being proactive, about saying something kind to you or bringing positivity into the world, I need to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, knowing about it, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not doing it, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my intention for today. I also love your idea of doing the intention bracelets and putting them in a jar. So I actually put a jar on the windowsill and put our kids' bracelets that we had this last few days.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'm doing like very much on purpose, actively today. So
Nice.
y'all do your intentions with each other and your gratitudes.
Okay, so today we're talking, well, the show is titled AOM Check-In, and I felt a little underprepared today just because I'm like, oh, okay, it's Friday, I'm thinking about other things, but I do like to check in every once in a while, just check in with you guys, and if you want to be part of the show, on Instagram at least, request to join the show and say, hey, what's going on in your life?
Ask a question.
And ask a question, and of course keep it proper,
Keep it cool,
my friends. So check in. I know that it's best for me when I get up at 5:30. I know it's best for me when I run, when I walk outside, and I know it's best for me when I take a cold shower and stay hard, you know, like David Goggins says. Because when I don't, then other things start to slip in. And I'm not saying like bad things start to slip in, just the easy way out starts to slip in. Like, oh yeah, you know, you've worked out for 5 days, take a break on the 6th day, you know, it's cool. But then guess what? That always breeds, oh, take a break on the 7th day. Oh,
yeah.
You know, I mean, okay, well, you took a break, so you might as well eat another scone on a non-cheat day or whatever. And fighting against that is a perpetual battle. And it's just like anything, my dad used to say this, anything worth having is worth, he said anything worth doing is doing right the first time.
Is worth doing right the first time.
Worth doing right the first time, because that just makes sense on so many ways. And then anything worth having is worth fighting for, because if it's too easy, then we don't appreciate it. We take it for granted. I'm also reading Man's Search for Meaning right now, which is a famous book and a story about
by Viktor Frankl.
By Viktor Frankl, an Auschwitz concentration camp survivor, and it's amazing. Like my daily thing is to read 10 pages at night, but I usually end up reading 20 because it's so enthralling and like, oh my goodness. And I'm only like a quarter away through the book, and it's really helpful. So like understanding these things about myself, trying to understand these things about the world and how it works, and understanding, hey, it's work. It's always work. There is no letting up. And then, oh, guess what? The discipline is the freedom, and happiness isn't a goal. I was listening to a book this morning. Happiness isn't the goal.
What book?
I don't remember. It's a Wayne Dyer book, and he's talking about the Tao Te Ching, right? And
you said happiness isn't the goal, but
happiness isn't the goal. Happiness is. You know, you don't.
Wayne Dyer is like the coolest.
Yeah, it's really amazing, and like you don't. Oh, when I do all these things, I'll have a good marriage. You, Melanie, will fulfill me. You'll make me happy, emotionally, physically, psychologically, and that is not the thing. That's the lie that I grew up just trying to figure out. But that is absolutely not the thing. And one thing I also wanted to talk about was when I am in a state of just being, like one of my favorite things, I've said it on the podcast before, I believe it's in Psalms of the Bible, be still and know that I am God, and then of course you reduce that down, and then the final thing is just be. And when I can think of all I have to do is be, I don't have to act, I don't have to say, I don't have to, do anything. I just have to be. That's when the greatest things come. That's where the greatest things come from. You know, like when we try to push things and coerce things so much, it usually doesn't work. It's like a struggle. And when I just go with the river flow of life, of God, of everything that is set up by God, that's when happiness. You know what I'm saying? That's when happiness is. I think you do a really good job of that. You're really easy in just being. And sometimes I'm like, but what about this? Why can't you, aren't you worried about this? And you're like, no. And I'm like, how can you not be? You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I thought this was an AOM check-in of what we're talking.
I did kind of check in.
But you told us what you thought. Like, I thought we were talking about what. I thought we were talking about what's going on in our lives, not
I
what
see.
you think about a book. I'm not trying
I
to
see.
diss what you just did, but I totally guess I had a different idea of what this episode was going to be.
Well, a check-in. Well, I guess. How about this? Our assumptions, our expectations of check-ins are different.
Sure.
We should have talked about that.
I did, remember?
Okay, good.
Okay, I had a list of things that I thought that this was going to be about, so I apologize. I thought that this was going to be, remember, an ask your partner check-in about like how you're doing and where you're at in your relationship. So why don't we just shift gears real fast?
All right.
See if that flies. Because I don't know how to comment on what you just said.
That's fine.
So what
Just
I wanted
be,
to do
girlfriend,
is to
just
take
be.
this time and it's like an inventory of where you are right now in your relationship, where we are right now in our relationship. Additionally, just what's going on in your life. How is homeschooling going? How are you doing with intimacy now that your kids can't leave your home? How are you doing financially? How are you doing with your job, with your goals, with your home, taking care of it, blah, blah, blah. All of those things. That's what I thought we were going to be talking about.
Are there super brave listeners on IG who want to chime in on this?
Or
request
Facebook.
to be request to be in the thing. That'd
Tell
be
us
so awesome.
tell us how you're doing. Like literally. So right now, we are in the 7th or 8th week of homeschooling, and I am starting to feel like I'm getting systems in place that make homeschooling easier. It is not easy by any stretch, but I'm getting systems in place that make it kind of function, and then the school immediately changed everything. So now the kids have multiple Zoom calls every day, which has really messed up the routine we've spent weeks building. And so I'm feeling really worn down. I'm just tired of it. Like, it isn't fun anymore to sit and literally talk to your children from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. nonstop, because one kid is always talking to me, no matter what at all is going on.
It's like you're in meetings all day.
That don't make any sense. That don't make any sense at all, and have to do with like Play-Doh and crayons and the dog barfing on something. But it's just really not. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it as well as I can, and to do my best, and have the systems, and do the bracelets, and try to like not let it tear me down, I guess, in that way. But I am really just like kind of done with it, but not in like I'm done, I'm out. Like I'm just. A little bit of a breather would be cool.
Yeah.
And I don't get that. Like even when you come home from work and stuff, the kids don't leave me alone. Like I was exercising in my room. I asked them, 55 times, please don't come in. I locked the door for a reason.
Yeah.
Please ask your father. Yeah. Please don't ask me anything for the rest of the night, you know? But they just can't, and that's fine. But so for me, that's where I'm at with the homeschooling stuff. It's like, I want a break. I want a breather. Today and yesterday with Anatomy of Marriage stuff, I'm feeling super down. Like, I just feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like nobody cares. What we're doing isn't helpful. Nobody listens, which is not true. They do, and it is helpful, and people tell us it's helpful all the time. Yeah. But my heart is, like, tired of it. Not tired as in I want to give up. My heart is like, gosh, I wish people cared.
So how about this? How would you know, this is a therapy question. What would you know, what would be different for you to not think that?
People caring. I don't know. I think.
But they do. They're watching.
I know.
They, you know what I'm saying?
What I'm comparing it to something though. That is why. Okay. So here's total honesty, total or authenticity, whatever. I'm comparing it to people who work at Dave Ramsey. I'm looking at John Deloney. He's got a team. George Camel, when we met him, was walking around with an assistant, and I made a joke. I'm like, yeah, my assistant's back in Maple Valley. We just didn't bring him. I don't have an assistant.
Have 3 of them. They walk around.
An assistant. I just don't have I don't have an assistant. I don't have a team. Every single post I make on Instagram, I'm doing myself. I don't know how to do
Aaron
it.
Davis, you saved our day. You've saved our day many times. You matter incredibly.
Thank you so much, and I
thank you sincerely. For
I have to not. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that I actually believe that I'm not helpful. But there's something right now, just in this moment, and I'm not trusting it or saying it's right or falling for it, but there is something just deeply in my heart right now where I'm like, I just wish people cared, and I wish someone would help us, and I wish that, like, in order for someone to help us, we didn't have to spend so much money, and, like, it just sounds weird. I don't know, and I'm not depressed about it, I'm not angry about it, I'm going to be faithful. That's my word of the year, is faithful.
Right. But it's a feeling. Oh, wait a minute, Aaron. Okay, Aaron, your own girlfriend.
So Danny, Okay, you're going live.
Yep, we're going live.
Karen, love how you inspired it. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Katrina.
Okay, we're waiting for E. Davis. Come on the show.
But I understand what you mean, yes.
Yeah.
Oh!
Holy moly.
Hey!
Holy moly. Hello!
Good morning.
Holy. I stepped outside because guess what? My 3 kids are sitting in the house fighting.
Fighting.
That is not unknown to us, that's for sure.
We're doing a little check-in. Look at the sun is bright. We're doing a little check-in today. We have 3 kids, and they are very pubescent 11-year-old girl, a 9-year-old boy who doesn't stop moving, and a 6-year-old kindergartner boy again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you froze.
The feed
Oh, no.
froze. The feet.
Oh, wait.
There you are.
You froze for a second. I don't know what you started.
It's okay. I just said this week has been a relatively decent week as far as parenting and kidding and schooling and whatnot. But this week took a turn marriaging. My husband works for the U.S. Forest Service, and he's been home for weeks and weeks and weeks, working from his office in our bedroom. And I think what's happened this week is we kind of we came to a head in it's stressful for him being home. It's stressful for me having him home. And expectations have just been really building up. What he is expecting of me, or what I am perceiving he is expecting of me, what I am hoping and wanting him to do. The stress of this situation has affected both of us completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
In that, as far as our marriage goes, he's feeling more, I don't want to say needy because that sounds like a negative thing. But he's needing my affections and my loving more. And I am responding in, heck no, I do not want any touches. Mm-hmm. I do not want any of, so we're total opposite ends of the spectrum. And it's caused a lot of communication this week. Having to talk ourselves through it. And Mel, you said it early. I called you Mel. You're my BFF.
Do it. I love it. I love it.
You say that you said a little bit ago that you're feeling that people aren't noticing. I wanted to say to you, this marriage morning stuff has I don't even know if it's called marriage morning anymore, but this talk every morning has caused and helped so many things. When I'm like, yeah, but guess what? This makes sense, and we will listen to it together or separately. And it's been super, super helpful helping us navigate this week and navigate this past month or 2 or whatever it's been. So thank you. I guess that I check in.
Well,
I just need an adult to talk to.
That's what our show is going to become. It's just like mothers trying to talk to other mothers. Like, I just need a human to talk to. Thank you so much for sharing that and for calling in. You know how much we would be best friends if we lived nearby. Like, it's not even funny. But I do want to talk about what you were saying with communication and all of that stuff.
So thank you again. It's so awesome. We're gonna hang up. So still listen. We just won't be able to see you. But thank you so much for being brave and just sharing that encouragement. We all need encouragement sometimes.
Yes.
So
yes.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Yes. All right, we're going to hang up on you. You froze, though.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Bye, Aaron.
We'll keep talking.
Thank you.
I love that so much.
Yes, that was awesome.
So much.
Okay,
that was.
so...
And thank you for your kind words. Like, I want to cry. It matters so much to me because I feel all the things.
Right. So, okay. So some people commented when Aaron was online. So Danny says, "You matter. We love this. I sit on my porch and listen to this. It's the highlight of my day."
That is so
Thank
sweet.
you so much. But you also understand what we mean. Yeah. So let's see. We care and love how you inspire our daily
Oh,
intentions. That is so
you.
awesome. Thank you. And of course, I don't think Melanie's saying that. She's just being real and honest, not to get this feedback, although it's
helpful.
It is nice to hear. It's almost like we're just processing. Like there's a big circle from Washington all the way maybe around the world to wherever people are listening, and that is really cool. So tell me your thoughts on well, let's talk about Erin and her husband's thing, and maybe how we have experienced some of that as well.
Well, and I wanted to say, it's so funny because like Seth, when he is working from home, because he does sometimes, has drug a desk into our bedroom and put it like in the weirdest spot, but I'm honoring where he put it because that's where he wants to sit.
I don't know where else to put it.
Yeah, we don't have anywhere else to put it, but it's funny because it's like, excuse me, he'll be at home. He's usually not at home during the day. The kids are running around out here. He's trying to be on calls. He's trying to, you know, have clients and do all this stuff. And the kids are like trying to unlock the door. And it's added a level of, it's not necessarily, it's not stress. I mean, it could have been stress. But what I feel is this like heightened sense of responsibility for the kids now. They can't bother daddy. And it adds this level of like, oh my gosh, why didn't you like just set your office up in the car? Like set it up in the van. I even told him like set it up in the van. Like the van is awesome. You can put the seats in the floor. Like you'll be fine. And it adds this layer, just a layer of like potential things I have to look out for more. So as much as you have to work from home sometimes, it makes my day even more involved and more stressful because I've got to be aware of what the kids are doing even more so.
Right. It takes up brain space.
Yes,
it takes
that's
up
the
like
perfect way to
RAM
say it.
on your computer.
Yes.
Or it's another pot on the stovetop cooking that you have to watch and not.
I have too many
not get
irons in the
burned,
fire,
right?
yeah.
Too many irons in the fire. And I felt that way when you do voice lessons from home.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated it because I wanted you to be as professional as you could. And so, and when you did it from home in your studio, it's like, oh my gosh, the kids have to be quiet because you're doing all this.
And the kids were really little then too.
Yeah, they were really little and they would cry and stuff like that. That burned my brain out. So this is, I believe, a theme going on, and it's something, as Erin was talking, I was like, you know what? This is exactly what's happening with you and I. As far as sex and intimacy go, I think neither one, of course, we want to connect physically in that way. We've connected emotionally, like recently, we've talked, when I come home from work, literally talked for an hour straight.
Yeah.
Just in our bedroom on the bed talking about books that we're reading, how did our day go, what do we think about quarantine stuff, where do we want AOM to go, hey, what are you like really feeling spiritually and mentally and emotionally? Super great talks. But then at the end of that, like I want to have sex, sure, but it's almost like work.
There's
what
just
I'm saying?
literally too many things going on.
And then the drive is basically not there, which that sounds really weird to admit. However, so let's understand what
I think like you said, it's a weird thing to admit that, but I think it's a great thing to identify that and be like, you know, not every, and I guess maybe this is just sort of like a rabbit trail, but I don't think every man needs to have this concept of like, yeah, I want to like do it all the time. Like what, you know what I mean? Like not everything
I don't
needs.
think we do.
I think that's a cultural thing of like, oh yeah, I like her, I want to do it now. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's that is the only end goal. That's the only thing you've got in your mind. And in not saying you do that, but you get what I'm saying? Like, what if the end goal of a time with me was we just talked and had fun and chatted and it was great. And that we weren't, there was no disappointment attached to that. Like you are saying right now, I am disappointed almost that I don't want sex. See what I'm saying?
I'm not disappointed when we What's Up Marriage Podcast, What's Up His and Her Money. I'm not saying that I'm disappointed that we don't have sex. I'm saying that because sex is different for men and women, and then obviously the nuances in that, men, and the research shows this, men feel connected when they have sex. Women feel connected speaking emotionally and connecting that way, and that. So it's like have sex, then emotionally connect, right? For women, it's emotionally connect, then have sex kind of thing. I feel like we're emotionally connecting, but then there's no sex after it. Does that make sense? And then it's not as fulfilling for me.
How's your life going out there?
No, I'm serious.
So are you saying you want to have more sex? Is that where this is leading? I guess I thought
that wasn't the topic of the thing, but yes, of course. That's yes, always. For sure. Somebody throw up a like or a wave to that one. And I'm not saying that being crass. It's interesting, and I think we talk about, you were saying, let's identify that in therapy speak let's presence that. Let's put it out here and talk about it, right? So I just realized that the kids here, the quarantine stuff, all this is literally contributing to less physical intimacy, which is not a big surprise. It's like, more stress, of course. Let's see, marriage podcast, which comes first in the chicken sex thing? Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny.
if you got the answer to that one, tell me.
Right. Well, that feels like it goes right into the questions that I had written down that I want couples watching this to ask these to one another. Because this really, like, the question I was going to ask is, what are you enjoying about this season? And conversely, what do you wish was different about this season right now? So let's just answer those questions.
That's a great question.
One thing I'm enjoying about this season is I think it's kind of given us a new sense of we can't go anywhere. I mean, we can't go to parks. They're all shut down. They're taped closed. We can't go to the mall. We can't, do any of those things. And so it has given us more of an excuse or a reason or whatever to literally sit in hammocks in our backyard and just enjoy one another, which I love. We never used to really do that before. Also, we have great hammocks now. Like, we bought 2 hammocks and a swing and whatever. But that, I am really enjoying the presence that we have that we've never been able to. It's not that we weren't able to have it. I don't want to say that COVID, caused us to have presence.
Right.
It kind of highlighted it up for us that we should and we do enjoy these moments of literally just sitting still with one another. No agenda, sunshine on our faces, rocking in the hammock, sitting with the dog, looking at the grass, looking at the trees, and just that is a powerful moment. And I'm really enjoying soaking in the beauty of our property and your presence. And that is something we literally never did before.
Right.
So I'm enjoying that during this season. I also do not enjoy, though, what I want to be different right now. Same thing. I want to be connecting physically more, but the kids stay up super late. I don't like that they watch a movie every night. I just don't care about TV enough to care about that. I know they like it, but I don't appreciate that.
So this is a really good question. Well, let me answer your question first. I also am enjoying our property. Yesterday, I get silly and I say, have you seen this? Have you seen these trees? Have you seen the sun and how the grass is super green and all this stuff? Because we've never actually had a property this big.
Like this, yeah.
And so I feel very, very, I am very, very blessed with this property. And I absolutely enjoy coming home from work and the sun's out and shining and you guys are outside and literally we just sit in the hammock for a while and the kids are riding little dirt bikes and stuff like that. I really, really enjoy that. And I am not enjoying this time of not being able to go places kind of thing, and also not enjoying the time of how much physical intimacy we haven't been having, if that makes sense. And then sometimes, I'm going to be really honest here, it's I don't understand, and I almost have some resentment if I let myself go down that way, which I try not to. Prior to COVID-19, the reason that you were saying we would have more intimacy if we connected this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of me, I don't understand it. If we are connecting, we're having the talks on the bed, when I come home from work or sitting on the hammock and stuff like that. But then that other connected piece, it's almost like because women feel connected in that way, and it's almost like enough. It feels like, hey, we're okay. You gave me a bite of the cake here, but I want to go eat the rest of it.
Yeah.
But you're feeling, well, I'm fine. I haven't had the cake, but I don't make moves on you that much anyway.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's weird. Like you saying to me, you want to be more physically connected. I'm like, really? What? How would I? I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not being a jerk. I'm just saying, I had literally no idea. And I don't understand that.
Well, that's why these questions are here.
I don't understand that. Somebody, hold on, we got a lot of questions here. So, Aaron says, yes, I'm disappointed with myself, though, for this not meeting his emotional needs via sex. This makes so much sense, though. Thanks for sharing this reality. I don't realize the science behind the men and the women difference. Thanks again. Yeah, it's true. Marriage podcast. This is so transparent. You're not alone. We're going through the same thing.
Well, and
that's good. I think a lot of people are. Some people are talking about it. I'm happy to talk about it.
I want to talk about this idea too that like women do have connection. They feel sort of fulfilled through talking and whatever. And I have a best friend that I walk with at the church across the street from our house every day. I'm feeling very full. Like she and I talk and talk and talk and talk. But you can't get that fulfillment in any other way.
No, I'm hating life right now because...
Don't be so dramatic. You're not hating life.
Okay, I'm not hating life.
That's not helpful.
I go to the office. There's literally two people there. And I talk to clients on the phone.
Yes. So, yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Okay,
I want to keep talking. So, I understand that it is more difficult for a man to get those needs met, I think. And so what I want to say is that I said to you, I want more physical connection. And women, if you're watching and you agree with this, put 10,000 hearts up, because this is how I want to connect with you physically. But what ends up happening is I feel like I'm not a participant in it. I feel like I'm like an object, if that makes... Like, you don't care if it's me or somebody else, is how it feels.
Well, I'm sorry I'm not laughing at that. That
you
is not...
You guffawed in my face.
I did guffaw. That's not true.
Hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't feel like you care that it's me. And I would like to have... So when I say I want to connect with you emotionally, that makes me want to connect with you physically. It would be like you talking to me about why you love me. Not being like, honk, honk, honk. Blah, 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 honk, honk, honk. Right? I'm not... I don't enjoy that.
Right.
That isn't what I can get to the point where I enjoy that, but it starts with almost this like, you know when you're talking to someone and they are not paying attention and they're like on their phone, and then all of a sudden something gets their attention and they're with you. They look up from their phone and it feels different, doesn't it?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. What I want. What I feel a lot of times is that you're like distracted on your phone, just like, I want something to grab and I'm the closest thing, or I'm the only thing you're biblically allowed to grab. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if I felt like I was the apple of your eye, I was actually getting your full attention. I was desirable. I was captivating.
Right.
Then you're captivating, you being captivated by me makes me want to be intimate with you.
Right.
It makes me want to captivate you more. To hold you captive.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it invites that out in me. I am not saying, because you don't do that, I won't whatever.
Right.
I feel like I work pretty hard to make our sex life really good. And I work at it on purpose. But that's what I mean, and I guess we have never had this conversation in this way.
In front of everybody?
Why not? Right? Does this... someone... I can relate to that 100%. The grabbing, right? 10,000 likes and hearts here. Yes, my husband and I had to talk about non-sexual physical touch. Yes, that's a perfect point. So I don't feel precious to you. I feel like an object, and I know that I'm precious to you. So I fight that. I don't believe my feelings right away, right? But
that's interesting because you started out the show talking about you get down because you don't feel like people care, right?
I know it's not true, but it is something that is impacting my
and that's funny because if you go like and see the, I don't know, 2-point-something million downloads, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the comments on this and everything. So I would like for you, and this is my therapy piece coming in, and plus the husband piece. So just because it is the same exact line of thinking of, oh, people don't... I want people to be more involved with the show or whatever, like this stuff. Oh, they don't care. But there is absolutely infinite more proof that they do than they don't, right? So the same line of thinking goes into this. Like, you are precious to me. You do captivate me. But I don't know.
Well, let me put it.
You're not seeing it, right?
Well,
so
let me say it like this. And this is
all the comments in the world aren't going to get you to say, "Oh yeah, people do care." Okay, you have to decide that for yourself.
No, hold on. I hear what you're saying,
right?
But it does matter. So imagine I say to so you and I, let's just say, you tell me once that I'm captivating. Melanie, you're so captivating. And then we have like the best sex in the world. You're telling me, I don't need to say it again. I've already said it. The evidence is everywhere. I paid for the house. I bought the car. I bought the van. Like, that's how it sounds.
Right.
But so, anyway, to kind of get back to the point of what we're saying and of this particular conversation, right now, in this season of life, I do want more intimacy. I do actually want more respectful, loving, non-sexual touch. I don't want you to honk my boobs all the time or touch my butt or talk about that. I want you to, like, I want it to feel non-sexual and like, I love you, I'm holding you, you're my precious. I saw Gollum. I'm the ring. I'm the one ring to bind them all or whatever.
Aaron, it's that sneaky little thief of comparison and self-doubt. It steals joy and causes strife. It's easy to fall in the trap. Comparison is the thief of joy. Brandon says, biblically allowed to grab. That's really funny. And watching them work through this in real time is so valuable. Thank you for your example.
Oh, I hope
Thanks.
that it helps.
I guess, I like it. We used to do this a lot. I like it when we work through real stuff and actually have a conversation. Yeah. Because it feels like we have to be more transparent, and I can't get mad. I can't say something stupid. Neither can you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we're on.
It's helpful. It's really incredibly helpful to us.
We're on notice. You guys are putting us on notice.
The other thing I wanted to say too is, so again, I want you guys to talk to your partners. Ask yourselves and each other these questions. What are you enjoying about this season right now in your life? Like, what is COVID stuff bringing up that's new and enjoyable? Or do you just have more time? What are you liking? What is going well about any of it? What would you like to be different? So is it more physical touch? Is it more exercise? Is it better diet? Is it more sleep, less sleep, whatever? Talk about these things together. And then the next question I wanted to ask before we wrap up is, what do you envision the next 3 months looking like, or month? As we said right now, we've just talked about what we want to be different. So now let's envision that, put it into a visualized practice, and then and talk about this together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So can we talk about what the next 3 months? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Like I'm saying, let's talk about envisioning it. How do we actually implement these things moving forward? We've talked about it, but how do we implement them? What are the practical steps we're going to do?
Very quickly, I know we're kind of going over today. The next 3 months is us either completely getting out of debt.
I'm not taling about debt.
I'm talking about everything.
I'm talking about what we just talked about.
Oh.
Does anyone feel like that took a turn?
It all is connected with me. It's like, I intend on working harder, making more money, being super creative, getting out of debt, and pursuing our best and highest calling, my best and highest. And I believe that our best and highest is very similar, which is pretty darn good. So
yeah, I'm literally related to what we have just spent 40 minutes talking about. So like intimacy stuff. So how do you envision? So here's a perfect example. Again, I know we're going over. I don't even care. So the other day I was walking with my friend, and she is struggling right now with parenting and being peaceful in her parenting. She's like, I'm stressed out all the time. I feel like I don't know how to be happy. I'm showing my children a stressed out, anxious mother all the time, but I'm telling them, trust in God, just pray about it, while she is like stressed out constantly and not even happy. And so I said, we were walking, and it was really kind of like this moment of, I'm just going to try this, and it might be really awkward, but I'm going to try. So I said, okay, I want you to envision what the non-stressed out version of you looks like with your children. So I said, okay, imagine your son has his play date. He comes home all in a funk because he didn't have a good time. How does the normal version of you, the current version of you, handle that? How does the peaceful version of you handle it? Tell me. Walk me through it. And at first she did not, like, you could tell she was like, oh, I mean, I'd probably be whatever. I'm like, no, what do you say? What words do you say? And she's like, well, I mean, I'd probably say this and I'd probably say that. So I actually had her do a visualization practice with me where I said, okay, now imagine the dinner goes horribly and your husband is upset at you. What does the normal version of you say to him? well, I apologize, or I say whatever, or I get mad, or I cry. Well, okay, what's peaceful version of you? What does peaceful Seth say? What does the peaceful Melanie say, right? The reason I had her do this because I almost cannot change my behavior if I haven't seen it in my mind beforehand or talked it through in my mind beforehand.
What does Anthony O'Neill say?
I can never remember. Let's not quote it. We'll quote it wrong. Something about seeking. He's a seeker for Hogwarts. I'm not sure. So I really want you to think about, like, talking these things out loud. What does this 3 months from now version of us look like? And I'm not talking about getting out of debt. I'm talking about intimacy and connecting more and what we want to be, how we want to be with one another in 3 months from now.
Okay.
So what does non-sexual touch Seth do?
Sitting on the couch with my arm around you, touching your hair, like just holding you, right? Kissing your forehead, holding your hand, right? My hand on your leg, right? I know that you love it when I touch your hair and run my fingers through your hair and stuff like that, and just sit and be with you, right? Sit on the hammock in the sun, right?
What else?
Non-sexual?
Yeah, keep talking.
Oh, well, this isn't touch, but having food ready for you.
Cooked meats in the fridge.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's the thing.
Speaks to my soul.
It speaks to her soul. It's just like a Seinfeld episode, right? The sensuality of cured meats, right? And so, providing food for her. I'm a halfway decent cook, and she feels loved when I have some sort of protein meat cooked in the fridge for her, so she can eat cold or.
I hate cooking.
Yeah, non-sexual touch. That. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right? Like, what does that version of you look like?
Right.
Cooked meats.
It looks like you appreciate service. So, touching your hair, cooked meats, and also clean dishwasher, no socks on the floor, stuff like that, right? A clean, tidy home, right? Doing my part in that.
Yes.
And that's all I can think of.
I think we have to have an episode just about this to expound on it, expound on it, and to help people understand how to have these conversations with one another. Because I think we were just only touching on this, and I think there's so much room to grow, and we need to have these conversations, I think. Yeah. Because the things you listed are good, but I think they're...
What, there's more? I'm off the base?
Well, no, you're not off base. I just think it literally is like the first domino of like a million. Does that make sense? But not in a bad... I'm not trying to put you down. I hope it didn't feel like that. That's not what I meant. I think for the next 3 months, what I have to visualize, and this is literally, if I want to bring more intimacy into our marriage because it matters. It matters to me even if I think it doesn't matter to me. It matters to you, therefore it matters to me.
Right.
And I know, because I know myself well enough, that if I want to have more sex, I have to get myself in the mood on purpose. And that just requires intention. It's no big deal. Like, I don't need to get mad about it. I don't get mad about it. I used to. I used to be like, oh, why do I have to, like, work so hard and get myself, whatever I would think. But, so my intention is, I think, it is all about mind space for me. Clear, like getting all my 75 hard workout stuff done really early. That's been a really challenging for me, is sometimes I forget things and then they fall at the very end of the day and I'm like, I've got to read 10 pages and it's 11. And I've literally stayed up till like 12 or 11:30 at night or almost midnight.
So sex is out of the picture then, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. I mean, it's just, I need to prepare better. I need to have my ducks in a row, drink my gallon of water, get all that stuff done. And I'm not blaming it on that, but it is a factor. Yes,
it definitely is. And one of the things that I learned in 75 Hard, planning is like the biggest part of completing it, setting your own self up for success. We have a bunch of comments on Facebook, which I want to get to, but one second. I want to talk about the sexual. Okay, what does our sex life look 3 months from now? I want to do more non-sexual. I will do more non-sexual touch, and I believe that will enable things that I desire through intimacy, like spontaneous sex. You know what I'm saying? Like not just at night, not just the same kind of routine thing. Like, oh, the kids are gone and it's 4 p.m. Okay, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to clean the floors then. I'm just kidding.
You understand
I'm just
what
joking.
I'm saying?
I do.
Like that is my ideal, and not like some weird ideal college dude. Oh yeah, let's bang all the time. No.
What? Dude, gross.
I know, and it's not that, because I know that sometimes...
I don't appreciate that language.
Sorry, you were talking about honking boobs.
That is not the same thing as what you just said.
Okay, so not that, but a connecting of that, and yeah, that's my ideal.
Yeah, I think that we should have a whole episode about this, because I
Yeah.
think it's very, very important.
I think it would be good.
Only started this conversation, and we're
I know, that's
almost
true.
an hour in.
Lily says, it can be hard, especially when the kids are in bed around 9ish. Hubby plays games and then wants to go bed right after. Yeah. This quarantine has been a new normal. Husband feels isolated more now and seems so bored if he's not playing games on the couch. There's...
That's a hard one, too, because humans, can't compete with a digital world that has... guns, and you can fly on a bus and turn your hair green and do a stupid dance.
Ben says, Mel, y'all being transparent while live is why I love listening to you. I bet it would be easy to shut off the camera during these moments, but it's moments like these you help us in being by example. Thank you, Ben. And yes, Glock is on my wish list. Can anybody say stimulus check?
Lily says I might start the 75 hard too.
You should. It's a good deal.
Yes,
Aaron said,
I adore it. Sorry.
This is a good communication starter for us that will be good to plan it out. Prioritize. I tend to put sex on the back burner, an afterthought. Guess what? For husbands, sex is always a thought. It is not an afterthought. And that is how, just like talking and emotionally connecting for a woman is not an afterthought. I am saying this to you right now. Sex is never an afterthought. Because that is connection. It's like sex and then connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's a whole thing. We have to do more.
I know. I guess next week's going to be sex week.
We should do sex week, yeah, honestly. I know that sounds...
Send in your questions to hello@anatomyofmarriage.com and get them answered on sex week. And we will have... I think we should do an episode just about non-sexual touch. I'm writing this down. Put your topics in the thing right now, because I'm going to write it down in real time. So non-sexual touch.
Yes. So, okay. Everybody that comment on this, Marriage Podcast, Aaron Davis, all you guys.
Send us
an email for Sex Week at hello@anatomyofmarriage.com. Marriage Podcast. Where can we find more daily thought-provoking questions like this? On our app, of course. Get your marriage on. Thanks for being intentional there, Marriage Podcast. On the app.
It's called Get Your Marriage On. You can go to getyourmarriageon.com or anatomyofmarriage.com and get it there. And these, I will post them because I took a bunch of screenshots of conversation starters for today that were all intimacy related. So I'm going to post those today. We don't have time to answer them, but they're so helpful. So yes, get the app. We're going to do an episode called Sex is Not an Afterthought. We're going to do an episode called Non-Sexual Touch. And then, what are you writing? Sex Week, yes, on Sex Week. So any other topics, you guys, seriously, send them to hello@anatomyofmarriage.com or DM us, send us a message on Instagram, whatever you need to do. Get your sex questions in, and we're going to have this conversation because I think this has really been helpful, super helpful for me to think through how I've been kind of putting sex on the back burner, and that's not okay for the health of our marriage. So,
so to prepare for Sex Week, go practice, and we'll...
Just don't honk your wife.
No.
Also, if you want, here's a good prep. If you have not read the book, Come As You Are by Emily Nagoski, she is a sex therapist. She's a bunch of great things, but she has an audiobook where she reads it. Go to audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage right now. You can get that book for free. It's called Come As You Are by Emily Nagoski on audibletrial.com/anatomy of marriage. And she talks about the anatomy of our bodies, how sexual attraction works, how our bodies works, brakes and accelerators. What if she talks about sexual non-concordance, all sorts of very amazing things. It's not an inappropriate book. Sex is not inappropriate, so let's kind of change our brains about that. But it's an amazing book that will change the way you view intimacy, the importance of physical touch, and all of that stuff. So check that out. I will try to get a link to it in the show notes and on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out, for participating. Thank you, Aaron, for calling in, and for your kind words. I really have been in a funk just the last 2 days, but I don't believe my feelings anymore.
That's right. From your guys' interaction and communication, Sex Week and us realizing that we need to talk about this was born. Literally 10 minutes ago, we were not intending on doing this. So your interaction, your help, your encouragement absolutely spawned this.
That's
so
right.
thank you so much. We love you guys, and we will catch you
All
Monday.
right, see
All right,
ya.
bye.
Bye.